I was actually born in Maryville, Louisiana, and my father used to plant about 5 to 10 acres of watermelons, and I can remember just crashing the middle of the watermelon and eating the heart out of it and leave the rest there for the ants.
Everybody says their hometown melons are the best, but the people here in Beauregard Parish think they have some of the best melons in the state or in the country, and they're right. They're really good and sweet. They're always economical to purchase around here. They're pretty reliable as far as getting them, and the producers really enjoy producing a crop that they can sell locally here to help the people in Beauregard Parish.
Probably my favorite memory is the late afternoons when you've worked in the field a long time and you pull over in the shade and you pop one of the melons over that's been in the shade and you sit down and eat that cool melon. You may not have water, but that watermelon juice surely was fine.
What's the best part of watermelons?
The heart, right in the middle of it. That's the best part of it. But it's one of the most wonderful desserts that you could possibly ever find. I read an article recently about a resort in Hawaii, and on their menu they had Sugartown watermelons. They were shipped all the way over there. So that proves that they really are important to us. It's a major part of the farmers' income around this area, and we couldn't survive without them.
What makes Sugartown watermelons from Beauregard Parish better than other watermelons?
We believe that it's the sandy soil, and they need an awful lot of water, which we have in Louisiana. That's the best part of it.
Well, Sugartown was always known as the watermelon capital of what we called the world. There was a variety of watermelons that was originated there with some research, and now basically they're called Sugartown melons. There are a lot of melons that are grown there in Sugartown. These growers usually grow the hybrid type watermelons now. They produce more watermelons per acre. They're a little bit more hardy, and they're a little bit more resistant to some of the diseases and things that kind of plague our producers nowadays.
What separates a Sugartown watermelon from a watermelon from somewhere else?
Basically, the Sugartown or Beauregard Parish area is made up of a sandy loam type soil, hilly area, and watermelons don't like their feet wet. They like well-drained soil, which these sandy loam soils have that. They grow really well. It's really conducive to water transport, getting those nutrients up into the plants where it goes on to make those sweet watermelons that grow really fast.
Now, what's involved in the growing of watermelons in terms of how much work's involved and how long it takes?
A lot of our producers, we have anywhere from 10 to 50 producers. We have probably about 15 big producers. A lot of them rent or lease property, and they go in and have to plow and hip up the land, the rows that they're going to plant the plants on. Generally what they do is put black plastic down so they can plant earlier. It helps prevent erosion as well as it helps warm up the soil earlier in the year. The seeds that they buy are, as I said, they're hybrids. They're pretty expensive, probably $100 to $200 per pound for these seeds. And they have them grown in a nursery where they're planted in plants, and they transplant these plants mid-March to April, so they'll have watermelon where they're produced around 4th of July. It's very intensive as far as they need to make sure their pH is correct. Watermelons like a neutral soil, anywhere from 5.5 to 6.5. As far as pH, they don't do well in acidic soil. So the producers have to put lime on their fields that they're going to grow several months before they plant, and they incorporate about 50 pounds of nitrogen and on up to about 90 pounds of phosphorus and potassium pre-plant up underneath this plastic, and then they do side dress with about 30 to 40 pounds of nitrogen and about 40 to 60 pounds of potash and but these nutrients while they start vining to get those crops to grow.
So it sounds like it's quite a bit of work.
Yes, it is pretty labor intensive. They figure anywhere from 40 to 50 man hours per acre of acres of watermelon grown. And we're talking they have anywhere from 800 to 1,000 plants per acre. And a good average crop is anywhere from 15 to 20,000 pounds or 700 to 1,000 melons per acre, and a good crop is anywhere from 25 to 30,000 pounds of melons or 1,200 to 1,500 melons per acre. So that's all hand-picked and hand-delivered. It's really not mechanized other than some of the planting. There were 277 producers. growing over 3,000 acres of melons. It brought in $6.6 million into the economy in Louisiana from watermelon production.
How do Louisiana watermelons stack up against those in California and other places?
Oh, they're a lot sweeter. The Sugartown melon's best melon around. I was used to Texas melons out of south of San Antonio around Pleasanton. I thought they were good melons, but those people need to come over here. These are real sweet.
My daddy, my grandpa, my other family members remember when they used to haul the watermelons with the mules and the horses out of the field. Sugartown was the claim to fame for Beauregard Parish. You can go anywhere within 50 to 100 miles of Sugartown and they'll have Sugartown watermelons. It's a selling point. Whether they come from Sugartown or not, we can't verify that, but they sure do like to advertise it. Sugartown was also one of the oldest communities here, one of the educational spots for Beauregard Parish, and the watermelons were just the icing on the cake.
There's all different kinds of tricks of the trade that people say, but generally a hollow thud sound in a watermelon is a indicator that the watermelon is ripe. They say a metallic type sound that they're a little underripe and probably need to leave them in the field a little longer. But generally you see all kinds of people, they'll smell them, they'll thump them, they'll tap them in a grocery store, but a good hollow sound indicates that a watermelon is good and ripe.
It looks like we're gearing up for the Beauregard Watermelon Festival. We've got lots of plans for the festival where we've got everything from seed spitting to watermelon eating. We've got car shows. We've got something for everyone at the Beauregard Parish Fairgrounds here in DeRidder, Louisiana.
How did all this get started?
A few years ago, a lot of the local farmers supported the idea of having a watermelon festival, and each of the producers each year donates so many watermelons to the festival, and so a seed was planted years ago by the producers to start a watermelon festival. Home of the Sugartown Watermelon Festival is the claim to fame that we have.
Everyone over 50 years of age in Beauregard Parish and the surrounding parishes remembers what it was like to raise watermelons, to be out in the fields. But the fun part was being at the Whiskachitter creeks or the other creeks in the area at the 4th of July and during the summertime and eating the sweet watermelons. It was becoming a little past, so we decided that maybe the youth needed to get involved in watermelon production and the fun behind the watermelon eating. We were lucky enough that we had producers in the area that were willing to help us out with those watermelons. We had people in the community that said, okay, let's get going with this, we can help you. We had sponsors, and that's how it developed, and it has just grown in the last 4 years.
I sell T-shirts. I'm the T-shirt lady, and that's an important part of it. But the music, the food, the dances, all of that it's a tremendous festival, and we hope to have a good showing this year.
We also have a Beauregard Watermelon Festival Queen pageant. We have seed spitting competitions. We have watermelon eating competitions. We have a free children's watermelon game tent. Basically, all you have to do is pay your admission to get in, and everything's free to happen. All the contests are free. Come and join us.
Why is this a special festival and a special time of year?
Well, it's a season that we enjoy the watermelon. Our local producers have large varieties of watermelon that come out, and we're known for some of the sweetest watermelon in the state, if not across the South. And nowhere else can you find watermelons like you can find here in DeRidder.
I think places like Beauregard Parish are a necessity for those people that are restricted to an urban area. It's nice to come out and feel the freedom of the pine trees and the rural things that we have to offer. We have people that come out of New Orleans that actually perform for us. We have people from all over the state that come out and help celebrate, but it just gives them a reprise from that urban life they live. Last year we had well over 9,000. Hopefully we can increase that number. It's touch and go every year, but we put that information out and hope people will think it's someplace to go close or even far away. We have a lot of places here in town that they can stay and things that they can do, but it's a nice little trip to come out and bring it to a family atmosphere.
If people would like more information, what should they do?
They can log on to BeauregardWatermelonFestival.com, or they may call us by calling 1-800-738-5534.